meanwhile, in Tuscaloosa, Alabama continuing with their spring drills, and Kalen DeBoer met the media yesterday. We'll talk quarterbacks in a second, but the biggest, it's crazy to say this, even though they're starting a new quarterback, it is not the biggest question mark about Alabama's offense, is it?
No.
It's still the offensive line, right?
Yeah, I said it a couple of months ago. I think you could put literally every position in front of quarterback on the offense. I think it's offensive line. I think it's receiver. I think it's running back.
Yeah. And that's crazy when you don't have a proven starter, right?
No, yeah. Ryan Williams, you're talking about proven starter as quarterback. Yeah. Absolutely. But we just, we've gone through this exercise before. When is the last time Alabama had shaky quarterback play? It was pre-Nick Saban.
That's exactly right. So
it's been 20-plus years.
So here's Kalen DeBoer getting asked a non-quarterback question about starting from scratch, basically, on the offensive line.
Between all the new starters you need and a new offensive line coach, have you ever started from scratch with an offensive line quite like this?
Maybe not quite to that extent across the board when you talk about the coach and all the players. But you've had times where there's 3-4 starters that you have to replace. And so guys are hungry. Guys come in, they're wide-eyed, ready to learn. It creates competition. That's what you want across your team, but especially in that room. And they, really made a lot of improvements in the strength and, really excited about, you want to be excited about every guy, but excited about some certain guys in particular. And now you just got to see that translate onto the football field. And right now there's still some thinking going on. They're trying to get used to just what their job is, much less trying to get used to playing with the guy next to them and hearing those calls when the bullets are really flying. Walkthroughs are one thing, in the meeting rooms another. But now you get on the football field. So there's a learning curve that these guys will go through, but I'm excited about what Coach Clem brings and, the mindset. And that's really what you're trying to create as a football team, but especially up front, you're creating a mindset, creating an attitude here as you go through the practices.
So here's what I want to know. Are we changing the way we're blocking and calling plays and such like that with a new offensive line coach? Because you still have Kalen DeBoer, offensive-minded, Ryan Grubb there. If I'm an Alabama fan, that's what I'm asking. What are we changing? What are we changing about the run game? You got a new O-line coach. Are we going to change the blocking schemes? I'm challenging you. Remember Stink, who used to do?
Yeah, Mark Schlereth.
He does a podcast, and we've had viewers that have sent me, 2 different viewers have sent me a link to his podcast where I don't know when it was. I'll have to go back and find out when it was. But he says, I've just spent 5 hours watching Alabama's offense. So it was from last season.
Okay.
And he's like, their blocking in schemes and running game schemes he's like basically trash.
So are you saying you want to get Stink on the show?
Would love to get Stink on the show to talk to him
him
about what he sees with Alabama's offense. Have you guys heard anything? Are they trying to change any parts of the offense?
You heard they were trying to recruit a different offensive lineman as far as like physical stature to meet what Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb want to do offensively. But I'm sure schematically they are definitely going to change things because we've talked about the personnel. Personnel wasn't that bad when you've got Caden Proctor, who will be a first-round guy in May, and you've also got Parker Brailsford.
Second or third round guy, right?
He's probably going to be the second or third center off the board and probably is a second or third round guy.
That's what I was going to say is, as a setup to what I'm about to say, this is going to sound strange to say you're going to have 2 names called from that, 2 of the 5 names called from that offensive line on the NFL draft. Yet, that line can't get much worse than it got last year. I think I said before it can't get any worse, and Lance said, but it can. And Lance is probably right. I shouldn't say it can't get any worse. You would join me on the it can't get much worse than it was limb, right?
I mean, I think it would be almost impossible statistically to have less production running the football than Alabama did last year.
Yeah, so I just don't think you can get much worse.
And all you had to do was watch the combine and the praising of Ty Simpson when people were breaking down his tape, they were just trashing Alabama's offensive line in the praising of Ty Simpson.
Yeah.
The lack of run game and the protection that he got. They were like, this guy was having to play Alabama out of bad situations and basically put him on his back and carry them to the playoffs.
I mean, I think he was. I mean, there Ty Simpson was under pressure all the time. They could not run the football effectively. They certainly couldn't run effectively when it mattered, when they needed a second or third down, Lance, and they needed 2. They just couldn't do those things. I just cannot imagine it getting any worse for Alabama. I felt like I watched an all-time low Alabama run game last year.
How much better is the 11-win season last year if you just had average offensive line play? I mean, they probably beat Florida State. I don't know. They were so shell-shocked in that game.
They 100% beat Oklahoma.
But they beat
Lance.
Oklahoma.
100% beat Oklahoma at home and never have to play them in the playoffs. Oklahoma doesn't make the playoffs. Alabama probably gets a home playoff game.
So I think that would be the difference is what does it look like on the playoff bracket for Alabama?
Yeah, I mean,
because they probably were losing to Georgia too.
Yeah, probably so.
But they beat Georgia.
No,
They lost
in the championship.
championship.
It was just
game.
such a. It
They
just
were
seemed like
banged up,
so.
Hard
they
to
were
beat them
so
twice.
dominated.
Yeah, you beat them once in their place.
Yeah, but even then you get a home playoff game. I mean, that would have been the big difference.
And maybe a different path in the bracket. Maybe you get Miami. Maybe you get.
But you're still
Ole
not beating
Miss.
Indiana.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to win the whole thing. I don't think an offensive line was the difference in Bama winning the whole thing or not. But Florida State was such a weird game. It's hard to say that would have gone differently. The Oklahoma game in Tuscaloosa 100% would have. I mean, one of those fumbles was a blindside hit on Ty Simpson. They couldn't run the football for anything. I mean, it was just.
I mean, Daniel Hill was your leading rusher that day, and half of it was one carry. So basically 14 carries for 32 yards.
You said it looked like it was in slow motion. Was that the
It
one?
was, yeah. It was that one explosive run Alabama had in the month of November.
Yeah.
But, I mean, how many sacks? Yeah, Oklahoma had 4 sacks.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, when you play a one-possession game, a strip sack from behind and 4 sacks, that's gonna
You know
lose
what's
your
going to be
game.
interesting this year, back to the quarterback position real quick, whether it is Austin Mack or Keelon Russell, if either one of those guys struggles, that guy that we're looking at right there, and Kalen DeBoer, is going to get the criticism. Like the last time I remember Alabama quarterback struggling early on was Blake Barnett against USC. Nobody said a word about Nick Saban.
Yeah.
They're like, that guy sucks.
Yeah.
But we got to do something about this.
But he wasn't out there long. Jalen Hurts came
No,
in very quickly.
You're right, but I mean, if anybody struggles at the quarterback position, Kalen DeBoer is going to get all the criticism.
Keelan Russell, Austin Mack. The battle is on in Tuscaloosa. Here's Kalen DeBoer.
Yeah, you can tell that they've had a number of reps, from the last year under their belt. Playing with confidence, calling the play in the huddle with confidence. Both of them, light years of where they were headed a year ago, obviously, and they should be. Love, the talent level as far as that's concerned is not a question. It's just a matter of them building the rapport with their skill around them. Making the throws when they're there, feeling the timing and trust. Just feeling comfortable in the pocket, and that just comes with time, feeling comfortable with your offensive line doing the job up front. So, like what they've done through 2 practices, created some good explosives on their end, good feel, working the mobility when they have to. That's part of football too. It forces scramble drills and things like that. When that does come up, that helps our defense as well. So I think they're really putting a lot of pressure on our defense doing the same to them.
What would you guys go seesaw that Austin Mack is your starting quarterback?
50-50.
You really think it's 50-50?
I was going to go 40%, 60-40
60-40 in favor of Russell?
of Russell.
Yeah, I would probably go 65-35 in favor of Russell.
Wow, that heavy.
Yeah, but still, I mean, that's
It's still in doubt.
If it's
Yeah.
65-35, that's a real quarterback battle.
Yeah, I think it is a real quarterback
I
battle.
do too.
I do too. I mean, I only say 50-50. Mack's been there a long time. He has stuck around. He could have transferred again, chose not to. Tells you, number one, his comfort with – and as I remember it, Brooks may have to correct me because we were doing the interviews post-game after the Rose Bowl. Brooks, he kind of left the door open when we talked to him about that, did he not, after the Rose Bowl?
I remember y'all's soundbite about him,
Yeah.
Brooks – about you're talking about him coming
about
back.
Austin Mack, yeah. Because I think I point blank asked him, do you see that at Alabama? And he kind of thought through it, right?
Yeah, I mean, he didn't definitively say one way or another for sure. Yeah, he usually when a guy says that, you think they're gone when they kind of leave it open like that.
Yeah, and I didn't leave that interview thinking he was gone, but he also didn't definitively say, oh, no, zero chance I am at Alabama. Yeah. So my point there is he had a mindset of I'm coming back to win this job.
So funny, when I saw y'all's soundbite from there, I took it in my as I watched it, I was like, I wonder where he's going to be the quarterback.
Oh, really? You thought
I
he
wonder
was
if
gone.
he'll go back out west. Could he be the guy that replaces Sam Levitt at Arizona State? I was thinking things like that when I heard that soundbite.